Today on City Cast Boise, this unending heat wave has us sweltering, so we're digging into our favorite cold and icy treats from around the Treasure Valley. From where to get the best frozen mangonadas, the fluffiest shaved ice, and the most delicious ice cream in the area, we have your sweet tooth covered. Plus, we're sharing our insider secret treats that we've been gatekeeping. It's Tuesday, July 23rd. I'm Lindsay Van Allen, and this is what Boise's talking about. Joining me today is Blake Hunter, our Hey Boise newsletter editor, and Evelyn Avitia, our CityCast producer. We're going to break down cold, refreshing, icy ice cream things to help people stay cool when it's so hot.
Yes. Hi. I'm so excited. I am always looking forward to some sort of sweet treat in the summer. I'm really excited to dive into this.
Same. It's always the best part of summer, honestly.
Oh, you don't want to get a sweet treat with me? Okay, bye.
I did. Did I say that?
Listener, but like,
did she say that?
You haven't seen those memes. Never mind.
Oh, no. There's whole reels now about like, oh, you don't want dessert?
Yes.
You don't want something sweet? I knew where you were going,
You
Evelyn.
got it. You got it.
Wow.
Some of us are chronically online. Some are
and
not.
It shows. Yeah.
Absolutely. I will not lie and say that's not me.
Yeah.
All right, Evelyn. Well, since you're always down for a cool, sweet treat, what is something that listeners absolutely need to check out?
Okay, so I have a crazy sweet tooth. Like I am always gravitating towards very sweet flavors. And I recently went to go check out the Thirsty Shack in Nampa. It's on the Caldwell Boulevard. And I saw on their Instagram, they had this like brown sugar milk tea with creme brulee topping. Whoa. It was so good. It was like a perfect dessert, but I'm telling you, it was super, super sweet. So if you're not into the sweet stuff, maybe check something else out. I saw a couple people ahead of me, they were ordering a mangonada, which if you're not familiar, it's a very popular Mexican treat. It's like frozen mangoes, lime, chamoy, and they had the option to blend it with lemonade or Red Bull. So it was this very like icy frozen treat. But yeah, my sweet tooth loved the brown sugar milk tea.
That sounds so good. Is it okay? I've only ever had milk tea with like boba. Is that an option or is it just the tea and ice? And
yes, you do have the option to add the tapioca balls in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I think that's what it's called. But yeah, definitely added that boba in there. And it was a really, really cute shop. You can sit in there and enjoy your treat, or you can, grab your treat to go and go for a walk.
When it's less than 100 degrees.
Yeah, when you're tired, yeah. It'll keep you not super hydrated, but it'll keep you happy.
That's half the battle when it's this hot.
Yeah.
All right, Blake, what is your first cool, refreshing, or sweet thing that people should check out in this weather?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of Evelyn and go a route that is like pretty sweet. It's decidedly sweet, but also they have so many options that you if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But my favorite is the fresh powder from the Still. So that is an ice cream that's basically, it's just like cream on cream. And so it's just like, it's like very confectionery. It's like, it's so creamy. I don't know how I'm going to use any words to describe this other than creamy, but like, it's really, really good. But I think that it is a little bit on the sweet side. So I think that the Still is a really good option. One, they have multiple locations, which just like makes things easier for everybody. Yeah. But another one, they just have a lot of really fun, like Idaho themed ones, like the Idaho Wilderness, which is like a lavender and berries one.
Ooh,
usually,
ooh, yes.
I have,
yes.
It's really good. I'm usually not a lavender person in food. The two exceptions locally that I've found are the lavender tres leches at Amano, which y'all know about, and this ice cream, the lavender and berries, that's called the Idaho Wilderness. So it's really good. They also have third runner-up at the Still. They have parachuting beavers, which, are y'all familiar with like the story of like parachuting beavers in Idaho?
Oh, yes.
No, please tell me.
Okay, how am I going to tell a quick version of this? Basically, in like the 1950s, I believe, across the nation, of course, we had a lot of logging industry. And then us white folks were like, wow, that really hurts the environment in a major way. And specifically, there were like really declining beaver populations. And so the Fish and Game literally parachuted beavers into like the Frank Church River of No Return wilderness. And they're just like, there are videos, like news camera footage of these beavers like in little wooden crates just floating down from a plane on a parachute. And then they just like crawl out into the wilderness, which is like, I think not, maybe malpractice today, not like a super standard practice. But anyway, so long story short, this still has an ice cream called Parachuting Beavers, and it's with a peanut butter milk stout, peanut butter swirl, and chocolate chunks, and it's delicious. They have a lot of really good like dairy-free options, but that Parachuting Beavers one is one of their like booze-infused line, which is really good. They also do like wine pairings with that if you're into that. So
yeah, you can do a whole flight.
I know.
Depending on how long you're trying to beat the heat.
Yeah. Can I tell you too, I am addicted to the still. Like my friend will send me a photo and I'm like, you're at the still? Like, I know that flavor. And I recently just took my parents for the first time. My mom does not like ice cream. She is not an ice cream fan. Took her to the still for the first time. No complaints. They were obsessed. And my parents complain about everything. And they were just so obsessed with the still. So great recommendation.
That's high praise.
Yeah. You can't buy that kind of a review with money.
I know. Okay, Lindsay, we got to know. What is your recommendation?
Okay, well, staying with the super, super sweet theme of maybe this first round, I think you should hit up Slay the Snow. They have different locations around the Treasure Valley. There is a spot in Meridian that I went to, and I got their version of the Dole Whip. And this is an ice cream base. And then they have shaved ice with pineapple syrup and then cream and then a vanilla cream drizzle that tastes like sweetened condensed milk.
Oh my God. I have been dying to try this spot. I've been stalking their Instagram forever and I'm like, I want to try it so bad. Did you love it?
Oh, I loved it. It was so good. It was really, really good. It is super. They always talk about how they have like the fluffiest shaved ice. It was super fluffy. I took my husband with me. I was like, come on, we got to go. We got to try this out. And he was like, oh, that's way better than I thought it would be. So like it was really that. I think that's the equivalent of like your parents. Like, if he's like, oh, that was really, really good. It is phenomenal. It was delicious. It was huge. They like round it over the top too. So like, the little cup is deceiving where I was like, oh, we'll just get a little bit. And it was huge, like definitely a shareable portion. And we got it on like so far the hottest day. And it was just what we needed.
That sounds really good. I've never heard of this place, but yeah, I need to check it out.
My beef with like snow cone shacks is that sometimes the shaved ice is just not.
It gets hard.
It's just big chunks of ice sometimes. And I'm like, bro, like, I don't want this.
Yes. No, I don't want a snow cone. I don't want like a big old little like half-size pebble ice thing. No, I want it like snow. That's what I'm looking for. They absolutely deliver that with all of the cream and ice cream and syrup and anything you could possibly want. So
were you overwhelmed by the amount of flavors? Like, did you have a hard time picking which one you wanted? Or you were like, no, this is the one?
Well, I always do if you give me a lot of options because I don't want to make like the wrong choice. So that might be just a me thing. They have a wide assortment and they have a list of like their specials, and the Dole Whip was one of them, and all of them looked phenomenal. So like there's all kinds of toppings, all kinds of ice cream, all kinds of cream, and they're like, here are some fail-safe ones you're going to love. And they were right.
I live pretty close to Fancy Freeze, which is, of course, like just such a classic for ice cream and milkshakes and stuff too. But one of my recommendations is their dirty sodas are really good. And like they've been doing it for a long time. So like Lindsay, you just talked to someone for, kind of the dirty soda trend popping up in Boise. But Fancy Freeze has been doing it for a minute and they are really good. And one of my favorites is the Maui Chill, which is just Coke, pineapple, and coconut. It is so refreshing. A lot of those can be like really, really intensely sweet. Like I don't love like a Coke plus cherry kind of vibe. But I feel like, I don't know, the pineapple and coconut really works with it. So if you want to try it, I feel like we should do like if you try all the new dirty soda places, you also have to try The OG, like
the
Fancy Freeze, which
original.
They
the
didn't
Boise
invent it for
base.
sure, but yeah. But they have a ton of fancy sodas, so they're really good.
Okay, I'm saying my hang up has always been like the level of sweetness because like soda's already sweet. And so something about like adding all these other syrups and stuff is just kind of doesn't really do it for me. But so it's like soda level sweet. It's not, I'm not gonna be like, well, that was a little much.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you are sensitive to sweetness, I think that it's a really good shareable, like you mentioned about like the Dole Whip from Slay the Snow. I think that it's just like, I think that if that's your issue, then I would just say like share it with other people. Just like make yourself a smaller portion out of one thing, and then they have like really good corn dogs and tater tots and a bunch of other stuff.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, you can cut that sweetness with a corn dog any day.
Okay, well, I am our little Caldwell expert, and on the fancy freeze vibes, we have one of our little local burger shops in Caldwell, and that one's called Jack's Drive-In. And I decided to go over there and try their very famous pink elephant.
Ooh.
As I was doing my research, this is like the one that was always mentioned in the reviews. And so the pink elephant is kind of on the vibe of a dirty soda. It's cherry syrup, Sprite, and ice cream all blended together. And at first that kind of threw me off because I was like, they're going to blend Sprite, like soda and ice cream together. Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I'm not a big dirty soda fan. But it was so light and refreshing. Like it was a really good treat, and I understood why it had so many good reviews.
That does sound like a refreshing combo.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be too much.
Yeah.
I have a weird nostalgia for Jack's Drive-In because I lived in Caldwell for a year because I went to C of I.
Yeah.
And when my parents dropped me off to like go live in the dorms, those tiny little dorms at C of I, we went to Jack's Drive-In like before we had like our, what's it called? Convocation? I don't even remember one of those words. And this is like the first place that we went. So, but like, even if you don't remember, even if you've never been there, this place in Fancy Freeze, they have that like old school like drive-through vibe that like, even if you've never been, you'll feel nostalgic for it. And it's like, it's a really fun summer thing to do.
Yeah. Well, speaking of C of I and, the Yotes, they have their very popular drink. This is the second one that they recommended to me. And this one's the Purple Coyote. And so this one has vanilla ice cream, Sprite, huckleberry, and coconut syrup.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does.
I love the like colorful naming scheme of these two. I don't know. This is really fun. I've got to check this place out.
Yes.
That sounds
please
really
do.
fun. Okay, I'm going to riff off. My next one is also pink. So I guess that can be. So I went to Nectar in Meridian, and it's a smoothie shop. So this is my like when you want something cool and refreshing and also to feel like you're being healthier after you've had all this ice cream, dirty sodas. So I always get the strawberry banana protein smoothie because I've got protein then. So I'm like, hey, look, I'm eating protein like a healthy girly. And it's just made with nut milk, agave, strawberries, bananas, and then a chia seed strawberry jam.
Ooh.
Which is so good. And they like,
I'm into that.
They drizzle it in the bottom. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh.
And then your protein of choice, or not protein if you don't want protein. It's phenomenal. It's sweet, but not too sweet. Just very fruity, very light. It is so good and just nice and icy cold, very refreshing.
I'm glad that you are throwing a smoothie in this mix because so many people love to treat smoothies like it's like, ooh, these are my 3 servings of fruits and vegetables. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I was gonna say, I have no delusion that this is
you
a
get what's
super.
going on.
Yeah, no, it's,
you used to be a nurse. You
yeah,
know what's
no,
going
this
on.
is
Like,
this is a lot of sugar. My glycemic index is going up. It's all, we've probably gotten rid of all the fiber that would actually be really helpful in this fruit.
right,
but it tastes good.
Get the protein in there.
Yeah,
still.
I threw a little protein in there just for my peace of mind.
For something. Yeah,
yeah,
it helps.
it tastes good. That's what we're going for here. It's cold. It tastes delicious.
All right, I'm going to bring us home in our last round of recommendations, and we're going to East Boise, and specifically Bound Crossing, for Craven's Candy Emporium.
What is this?
I had never heard of this. So, I feel like we're not mentioning a few of like kind of the Boise classics. I feel like Goodies in Hyde Park and like Delsa's are like huge. I mean, they're just like iconic. And I think that they're really, really fun options that like should be named here. You know what I mean? But Craven's Candy Emporium is kind of reminded me of Goodies a little bit. And it really took the word emporium seriously. Like, it's just, there's so much candy there. But the reason that I went there, because I just like was kind of like looking stuff up and like searching for stuff for this conversation, because I wanted to try something new. And they have gelato. So instead of like ice cream, like scoopable ice cream that you can buy, they instead have gelato, which doesn't, I mean, good, like old-fashioned gelato, like it does better in like smaller servings, but it's still like, it's really good. I got the tiramisu one, but they have a ton of different flavors, like chocolate cherry. There's like a pistachio one that I saw that was like, ooh. I think that it's such a fun place to take kids. Like, kids will absolutely lose their mind if you go here. Like, there's like a shiny tin roof, which just kind of reflects everything, and it just kind of gives everything like a fun feel. And then it's just like, yeah, so many different kinds of candy, including like a lot of like handmade chocolates and stuff. So, yeah, if you want to try, I mean, yeah, like we've all had the frozen yogurt craze and whatnot of like the 2010s, but like try some gelato too. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of gelato around this area.
There's not.
So I didn't even know that shop even had that.
Yeah, me neither. I walked in and I was talking to the person who served me. I was like, I didn't know y'all were here. Like, this is so cool. And she's like, yeah, a lot of people don't, but we've been here since like 2006. Yeah, they're killing it. So
Wow.
So bouncing off of that in almost the same category. Now, this is going to be a controversial take. I will own that. Also, I have guarded and gatekeeped the hell out of this secret. This is my secret favorite thing, but I'll share it because I bought a pint and have it in my freezer. So if everybody goes there and buys it all, it's fine. I'm set. So Truffles in Meridian, it's a chocolate shop. They make chocolates. They also have ice cream. And they have, here's the controversial take, I think they have the best flavor of ice cream in the Treasure Valley.
Wow.
I know that's so, I know that is a big statement, but I love it. It's called Cowboy Cake. And what it is it's Texas sheet cake mixed with vanilla ice cream. But it's got like fudgy, like frosting layer, like a thick fudgy frosting layer. It's got the cake mixed in. The cake is super soft, super moist. It's like the best vanilla ice cream I've ever had. It is phenomenal. It's just like the best ice cream. Every time I have it, I'm like, man, this is so good. And I don't tell people about it because they only have like little batches of ice cream. And I always want it there when I go there. But it is so good, like phenomenally good. Again, review from my husband. I went and got it again to like, okay, is this what I want to feature? And he was like, damn, I forgot how good that is. And we went back the next day because he had to have more.
I've, again, never heard of this place. Do they have other ice creams too?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They have a whole bunch of them. They have a lemon blueberry that is so good. Ooh. They have seasonal flavors. All of their ice cream is really good. But this Cowboy Cake one is so good. And I don't like cake with ice cream. Like if I'm at a birthday party or something, I don't like that. That's not good. Yeah, no, I don't love it. It's a texture thing for me. But somehow this works so well, and I just love it. It's like the best Texas sheet cake I've ever had mixed with the best ice cream I've ever had.
Wow. Okay. I'm also seeing ice cream sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've never gotten those. I've gotten the chocolates. They are so good. That's like what I always tell my husband, like, please put those in my stocking. And then I always get the ice cream. I just think they do such a good job. I've never gotten the ice cream sandwiches, but I imagine it'd be so good.
Yeah, I'm seeing chocolate chip cookies with ice cream in there. And I'm like, I'm sold.
Yeah, they're like a little treasure in Meridian that like not a lot of people seem to know about. So it's been really easy to guard this. But I have to give them like the accolades they deserve. It is phenomenal ice cream.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to focus on the adults. I recommend going to 2C Wine Down. And on a super, super hot day, grab yourself a wine slushie. Ooh. These wine slushies are so good. but I fear they may be dangerous if you're getting multiple wine slushies. I think it'll leave you feeling warm and fuzzy. But I mean, if you also have your kids with you, I think this is a perfect opportunity. It's on the Indian Creek Plaza, so it's the perfect opportunity for you to take your kids to the splash pad. And so you can sit there with your little wine slushie on their patio and watch your children run around in the water. And then there's also the Good Spoon, that frozen yogurt. Frozen yogurt spot. Super, super good. They have a lot of different toppings and flavors. And on the Indian Creek Plaza, we also have the still. So you definitely have options.
There you go.
You can do it all at once, honestly. You're like, you know what? I'm going to start with my froyo. I'm going to get my wine slushie and then end with the still, or get more wine at the still.
And the kids play in the fountain. Really, it sounds like the perfect spot for this super hot weather. That's where you need to go to chill and relax and cool off.
Yes. And the crazy part is I have never seen... So in Caldwell, I mean, we are obsessed with chamoy and mangonadas and all of that. And so my friend, she got her wine slushie and they filled it up with like chamoy, tajin, all those good toppings. It was so good. It was so good. Really good. So you can kind of, add some stuff in there.
Well, these sound like some amazing recommendations for any kind of a treat you're looking for, from maybe pseudo healthy to super sweet, super indulgent. A perfect way to cool off while we try to get out of this heat wave.
Yeah. Stay cool, everybody. We got this.
That's all for today here on City Cast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, we would love it if you would tell a friend about us. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Idaho Olympians that you need to be watching. You won't want to miss it.